Pursuing agriculture as a viable career path, a 15-year-old student from Ferncourt High shares her dream on today's edition of Jamaica Magazine. Hello, I'm Adrian Atkinson and you're in tune to the program that informs, educates and entertains. Coming up, we'll deal with the issue of trafficking in persons. Later, we'll tell you how to determine whether your property would be at risk in a natural disaster. Stay with us. The details come your way right after the news of the day.
How well do you know your child? What he or she likes or dislikes? Favorite food or color? How about who their friends are? Make the time. Get to know your child. It helps to build their relationship. Makes it easy to keep them safe and it helps their development process.
Good day, I'm Samantha Allen and this is your GIS News for Thursday, May 8. The Economic Program Oversight Committee, EPOC, has indicated that Jamaica is expected to pass the fourth IMF test, which would result in a 100% pass rate for the 2013-2014 fiscal year. A team from the International Monetary Fund is in the island from May 5 to 16, assessing the country's performance for the January to March quarter. In assessing the April 2013 to March 2014 financial year, EPOC's co-chairman, Richard Ball, says Jamaica's primary balance increased by $40 billion and the net international reserves by $426 million. Government's tax revenues also grew by $24 billion, although it missed the $360.5 billion target. Mr. Ball said the fiscal balance also improved.
They managed to come out with a surplus of $1.7 billion. So the government, central government, is essentially paying from revenues for all of central government expenses, and this is a new development for the economy and a welcomed one, I should say.
Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller has called on Jamaicans to take a firm stand against criminal elements who invade and damage schools. Her comments are in response to the recent attack on the Taki High School. In a message delivered Wednesday by Labour Minister Derek Kelly, the Prime Minister said the act was particularly deplorable as it happened in the period when students were sitting external exams.
I have been assured that Minister Thwaites and his team at the Ministry of Education will do everything to restore normalcy. I have also been assured that every effort is being made by the security forces to bring the perpetrators to justice.
Minister Kelly delivered the Prime Minister's comments at the launch of Workers' Week and Labor Day 2014 at Jamaica House. Meanwhile, Jamaicans are urged to uplift communities on May 23 under the theme Take a Stand, Beautify Our Land. The 2014 Labor Day theme was revealed Wednesday by the Youth and Culture Ministry, which is collaborating with the Labour and Local Government Ministries to execute this year's observance. Minister Lisa Hanna encouraged persons to use the day to protect the natural environment.
So if you have environmental issues in your communities, let us get out there and do it.
Speaking on behalf of the Prime Minister, the Labour Minister said the second focus, beautifying police stations, was equally important.
Labor Day 2014 will give us an opportunity to not only recognize the importance of work of our security forces, but also for our communities to extend their hand in partnership with them and with each other towards a better Jamaica.
For his part, Minister Kelly said the Workers' Week observation was an opportunity to show the nation's gratitude for the important national contribution of the labor force. Workers' Week will be celebrated from May 18 to 23 and includes a public forum at Emancipation Park to recognize employees. Labor Day activities include a church service on May 18 and the national project is the Climate Change Park in Portmore, St. Catherine. For the first time, all book lists for schools are to be approved by the Ministry of Education. The Portfolio Minister, Reverend Ronald Thwaites, made that announcement as he contributed to the sectoral debate in Parliament Wednesday. He said all book lists have been reviewed and his ministry would be approving the list of books that schools should issue to parents.
No book lists are to be issued by schools unless approved by the Ministry of Education. We're giving some guidelines. Parents should not be spending more than an average of $5,000 on supplementary texts at the primary level. And if there is a doubt, please call us and we will explain. And about $12,000 at the grades 7 to 9 levels at the secondary schools.
This year, the ministry has allocated over $900 million to the textbook program, but the textbook cycle has been adjusted from 3 to 5 years for some and from 5 to 7 years for other texts. This should save the administration over $88 million. And finally, the Education Ministry is increasing its allocation to the early childhood sector this fiscal year. Minister Thwaite says $14.1 billion is budgeted to meet the needs of all students from infant school to grade 3. This is in addition to the $316.5 million that will be spent on supporting and improving early childhood education.
The sums in aggregate have never been larger before than they are now, and this is on purpose.
Minister Thwaites also revealed that $1.05 billion of those funds is reserved to provide free breakfast for 70% of early childhood students. $2.4 billion, meanwhile, will be spent to ensure that students benefiting from PATH can continue to get free lunches 3 days per week. Parents are asked to contribute between $45 and $60 per day to cover part of the cost of the lunch for the other 2 days. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Samantha Allen. Thanks for watching.
The Ministry of Agriculture has been engaging youth through initiatives like the Irish Potato Program and the Agri-Parks to deepen the pool of farmers in the industry. And at the school level, the Jamaica 4-H Club has been doing a remarkable job. We caught up with one clubite, Amanda Forbes, whose love for goats will one day see her joining the country's pool of veterinarians.
Did you know that a goat eats 3 times more than a cow? Didn't know. Me either. Well, my name is Amanda Forbes, and today I'll be sharing some information with you about goat care and management. Now follow me. Well, this is my grandfather's goat pen, and this is where I learned, well, some of the things that I learned about for goat care and management, and I'll be teaching you more about the goats in this pen. They're very friendly. Well, this pen was created like this, and it has lots of holes inside of the caves because goats love rocky area to get exercise in, right? So when they go up inside the pen, it protects them from the rain, and they get a lot of exercise because they're actually going up and down on the hillsides. And they actually love this type of environment where they can interact with each other. You can actually tell the age of a goat by its teeth, and especially when it has the first 2 front teeth pop out, you know that it's 1 year old. But when it starts to get spaced, you can actually tell the age. But when it has no teeth, you can actually know that it's months old. It's not really a year old, it's very young, despite how big they seem.
Only 15 years of age, Amanda already has a wealth of knowledge in the care and management of goats. And in addition to being mentored by her grandfather, she has learned some of this information from her association with the Jamaica 4-H Club. In engaging hundreds of clubites through schools across the island, the 4-H Club is grooming youngsters like Amanda to pursue agriculture as a viable career option, and she's a believer.
Well, I would like to go to the University of the West Indies, UWI, and I would like to try to follow in the career of biotechnology and in veterinary service of caprine. Caprine is the veterination of goats, as I said before, and I would like to do biotechnician. This is genetic engineering.
Amanda's passion to care for animals started when she was much younger. She could be seen caring for her dogs when they were hurt.
I used to have these medicines in the house that I would actually treat them with. Then Grandpa would say, no, let her treat them myself, because he had the treatment for them.
This young St. Anne resident and student of Ferncourt High School is destined for great things in the future. But today, she's our teacher.
Do you know how to select a goat? Well, I'll teach you about that. For, you say, a doe, you make sure that she's sturdy on the legs, just like that one over there. See the one standing on the stone? sturdy on the legs, but you should have a wide barrel and a well-developed chest. And make sure that the udder is well attached. It's big and tender and soft udders, so the kids can actually get some nice milk from it. In preparation for breeding, actually, you should expose the does to fresh pastures, fresh green pastures, so you can get some lots of succulent plants. Then afterwards, you give it like 1 to 2 pounds of 12 to 16% CP, that is concentrate protein from the industries. Then you deworm and delouse them, and then you give them some vitamin supplements so they can be sturdy and well, very active, so they can get to do what they want to do, you know what I mean?
This natural talent comes also the comedic side to Amanda, which she uses to entertain her friends.
When I'm down like this, they make me smell like this. But they said, you sure you don't want to do acting? They said you could fit in, and I said,
There are 3 things that matter most to Amanda.
I love school, and I love my best friends, really. And I enjoy working with animals very much.
So much is that love for the care of animals that she was awarded the Jamaica 4-H Club Championship Trophy for Goat Care and Management at the 2014 National Expo. She is now the national representative in this category. With this knowledge and that which she will acquire in her future studies as a veterinarian, Amanda hopes to help her grandfather with his goats. And there are other plans.
And I would like to apply to the Japanese embassy for the scholarship that they're offering, and then I would like to get a job over there and here if it's possible. Then I could actually promote the industry of goat production from Jamaica to Japan.
And so in her spare time, she reads manga, a Japanese comic that helps her to learn the language and culture. Amanda's forward-thinking approach is one that's embraced by the government, as it positions the agriculture sector for growth and sets up a promising future for the youth.
Given the youth's willingness to adapt to new ideas, concepts and technology, it goes without saying that the future of agriculture in Jamaica resides with our young people.
Oh, one more thing I forgot to mention. In a pen, you should make sure that the feeders are designed in a way so to discourage the goats from stepping on the feeds or fecal contamination. And you should make sure that when they are going out to a pasture, I would recommend that the pasture have like grassland like this. I wouldn't like them to actually grow on the ground, because you're actually risking the goats to ingest worms, and you wouldn't like that because this will formulate in a loss later on.
The youths, positioning themselves to make a difference and to continue the growth in agriculture.
Is your silence worth the life of a child? Report child abuse. Call the Office of the Children's Registry at 1-888-PROTECT. Be the change. Speak out. Protect our children.
The feature we showed earlier with young Amanda Forbes really captivated me. She's obviously on the right path. But in order for Amanda and other youngsters to realize their dreams, we have to create an environment that is safe and secure. That means protecting them from crimes such as trafficking in persons.
Michelle, what Shana doing now like how she leaves school?
Nothing, sung for me every day. But a man promise her job of foreign. Them a look about paperwork and everything, even visa and passport.
What she going up there to do? Who she going to stay with? You going to get a number for her that you can contact her?
When I ask the man, him says stop her myself.
I don't like the sound of this, Michelle. Might not take them one, take away your picnic. You ever hear about human trafficking?
Trafficking?
or trafficking in persons, the same thing. Why you watch that video here? See if it's it them go and do it, Shana.
But I'm afraid to die.
Trafficking in persons by law is a criminal offense. Those who perpetrate this crime usually do so in unsuspecting ways. It could be a friendly invitation to another part of the island or another country, or even through enticing job offers. Persons who get caught up in this web aren't necessarily naive individuals, but human traffickers are sophisticated criminals who put a lot of thought into disguising their nefarious intents.
Not all persons who promise job, etc. overseas after graduation can deliver or plan to deliver. So what they do is lure them into thinking that there's a better life somewhere else. And persons will respond to it. What they'll do is that they pay the ticket and they'll invite you up. Once you're there, they take your passports and then you're placed in servitude.
It is at this helpless stage that victims are forced into unpaid labor or prostitution. The best way to get out of these situations is not to enter them in the first place. So the authorities are cautioning persons to be more vigilant.
You are not supposed to be able to get a visa without your attending or that your parents, if you're a minor, right? So nobody is supposed to be able to legitimately give you a passport with a valid visa without you having gone through that process.
Before you even reach that stage, you should try to get answers to some very important questions once an offer has been made to you. Ask, where am I going? Where will I be staying? Who will be responsible for me? And what do I tell my family?
If you cannot give that information out of this encounter that you're offered, if you cannot give that information that can be checked, then you ought not to take it on.
I don't know where I am. They've taken all that I had.
Doreen, I'm glad you showed me this video. It made me want to ask man more questions because I can't let them take Sean. I don't know where she gone.
I'm glad you understand the signs of trafficking in persons. But keep watching more information in the program.
Statistics across the world have revealed that women and children are more vulnerable to human trafficking. However,
we see young, bright males, young, bright females, university graduates. We have people from difficult circumstances, people in the main who have been tricked, so it varies.
I also think any person who doesn't have sufficient information so that they can assess an offer that is being made to them is vulnerable as well.
to protect all its citizens, the government has intensified its public awareness campaign. Persons are being given information to guard themselves and others against this crime.
We're going to be giving out some business card size facts on trafficking to the workers in the sector who would be exposed: customs, immigration, the police. So at a moment you get into your pocket and you have the facts, is this what I'm seeing?
We can identify persons being trafficked by certain behaviors being displayed. A person behaving unusually timid is one of the classic signs of someone being trafficked.
Persons who are leaning onto this adult, not like a parent-child kind of arrangement, but it's almost like you're kidnapped, but you are afraid to let anybody know that this is your situation. And we have to look out for those people who are moving around with no confidence.
I like when the government send no information to the people. It's stuck in my head. From now on, I'm not taking anything for granted. Thanks for showing me the video.
No problem, man. We have to share information. This is one way of ending the cycle.
This information-based strategy by the government is a cooperative approach with citizens that seeks to preserve and enhance a secure and protective environment for all. Now that we have the information, let us use it to our advantage. Our main source of protection against trafficking in persons is to be aware of the offense.
The National Child Month Committee is hosting several events throughout the month of May. The Youth Outstanding Academic Achievement Award ceremony will be held at the Knutsford Court Hotel in Kingston tomorrow. The event starts at 10 a.m. Parents of awardees must be so proud. No doubt they supported their children, setting a good example for them. So what do you say? How can parents raise their children to be street smart?
Well, you have to teach them no ramping on the road much as when them on the road. Coming from school and all of those guys, you know, dangerous out there.
Maybe travel on the bus with them, you know, not just put them on the bus, but travel with them. You know, there are so many things out there that endanger their lives. These guys that prey on your kids, you know, teach them to be aware, you know, teach them a lot of stuff in terms of like going on the computer, the internet, Facebook. You know, at a certain age, I just don't believe that kids should be on Facebook.
You can't keep your kids too close. You have to let them go out and play with more picnic with the children them on the road so they can get used to everything. You keep them locked in, then get used to things on the streets. You have to let them out, let them mingle and play. But you have to keep on down. You can't keep on a level. You can't let them run wild, but you can't keep them too sheltered either.
Parents who keep their children in, they don't know how to be street smart, so they must allow the children to go out, interact, and to just fellowship with other children.
Disasters are a reality. Make preparedness your responsibility. That's the message from ODPEM ahead of the June 1 start of the Atlantic hurricane season. Over the next few weeks, the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management will be focusing on the vulnerability of our children and how to help schools prepare for disasters. Up next, a simulation exercise that can help you make better preparedness decisions.
Floods and earthquakes are two of the most common natural disasters. But unlike earthquakes, which usually take us by surprise, flooding to some extent can be predicted.
But when it is, what should we do with the information? And how do we safeguard ourselves and properties against this eventuality?
Through the use of revolutionary technology, awareness of the possible outcomes of a natural disaster has become more advanced. Persons are now able to use data on location, roof, and house type to create a simulation of what may happen in an earthquake, tropical storm, or hurricane.
The simulation was designed to combine place, type of structure, and event. Because Jamaica is vulnerable to four types of events: hurricane/tropical storms, landslides, floods, and earthquakes. But the same building that you live in is exposed to all four. And that same building you live in will react differently to all four.
Jamaica's landscape equally sits in low-lying and coastal areas as on hills and valleys. The country is also in an earthquake zone, so it can't hurt to do a little research on all the what-ifs, right?
You'll be able to go inside your house and see your roof being blown off, or your slab roof staying on. You'll be inside your slab roof house when earthquake shakes it comes down on you. We'll be able to have those type of simulations.
How about the possible outcome of a Category 5 hurricane if you're living in a zinc roof wooden house that is built on stilts in a river valley? So now that these predictions are available to us, just how useful are they?
This simulator is now designed to take all of that information, the conventional knowledge that we as academics know, or the disaster management professional knows, dump it online as we have. Let the developer, housing developer, have access to it and see for himself. Let the parish council person or the development approval authority play with it.
And once they've viewed it, The authorities can use the data to plan areas for development, approve or deny development applications, and build better. The simulator is not just a special effect disaster interactive tool, but one that takes into account the realities of environmental and living conditions here in Jamaica.
And the simulator also seeks to bring an awareness of the impact natural disasters may have on lives, properties, and businesses in relation to the country's national goals.
The effect a hazard would have on everything ranging from the individual to the nation is important, and scaremongering only goes so far.
The simulator allows you to either scare yourself or reassure yourself, but it's based on reality.
Another useful element to this drill is the data it uses. Historical data are planted and come to life through the simulator to facilitate emergency responses as well as forward planning in action.
Knowing where hazards are and knowing where they're not is extremely valuable information to businesses such as insurance. Instead of blanketing Portland as a hazard-prone parish, we can know which parts of Portland are hazard-prone, therefore allowing people in Portland who are not in hazard-prone areas to get lower insurance premiums. You underwrite them differently. And you also underwrite more accurately and properly the people who are in hazard-prone zones.
So, if you have already bought your dream home or are thinking of buying or building, you may want to try a few simulation exercises to test the stability of your home or to find out if where you intend to build is the best place to put down roots.
As we say goodbye for today, we leave you with this quote from motivational speaker Alvin Day. Words do not come from your tongue, but they come from your heart. So feed your heart with good things so your words can be positive and influential. The information continues to flow on our website, so visit us at jis.gov.jm. You may also convey your ideas and comments via Twitter at JIS News or email jamaicamagazine@jis.gov.jm. Remember to tune in tomorrow, same time, same station for more Jamaica Magazine. On behalf of the entire production crew, I am Adrian Atkinson. Walk good.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.